That was fun.
Hi there.
Hi, Erin.
How are you?
Good. Hi, John
Hi, John.
Mathers.
Hi,
Good to
ladies.
see you. Happy New
Good
Year.
to see you both. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Elliot.
Elliot,
Happy New Year.
Hey, everybody.
Fiona.
Here.
Happy New Year.
Hello.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're waiting on Giselle and Ron.
Good evening.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Hi there. Oops. That's not an albatross, that's just a sling.
What's the sling for, if I may ask, Ron?
Oh, I had a reverse shoulder replacement 4 weeks ago. They want the sling on longer than necessary.
A reverse.
shoulder.
Yeah,
Does that
when
mean
you
they
don't
put
have
the bad one
rotator
back
cuff,
on?
it has to be reverse. So they put the ball in the socket opposite. Worked out fine, but I have to do the other one in several months, so.
So Ron used to be right-handed, but now he's left-handed.
I'm not either-handed right now, unfortunately.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Giselle.
Hi, Giselle.
Giselle,
Hey,
Hi,
Giselle.
Giselle.
How are you?
good.
Good. Well, Ron, it looks like you'll get out of shoveling tomorrow.
Yes, that's one of the benefits.
I'm still in denial about tomorrow.
Me too. Wasn't the snow supposed to start around like 2 or 4?
2 a.m., I think. yeah.
AM.
Oh,
2 a.m.
a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
it's late tonight.
I'll set my clock.
Yeah, want to get up and watch it.
I think the worst of it's supposed to be like 6, 7 a.m. during the
Rush
rush
hour.
hour.
Is it
Yeah.
going to be
Have
cold?
they-
Is it going to be cold? How cold? What's the temperature going to be?
I didn't
It's
see
not
that, but I know they're
extraordinary.
calling for like 3 to 6 in this area.
Is it
I'm
going to
just
be
thinking
a
that-
cold, wet snow, or is it going to be a dry, fluffy snow, or?
Yeah, that I didn't hear.
Looks like a
34.
looks like a
tomorrow.
high of 35 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, wet.
Should be wet.
Yeah.
Right around freezing.
Have they canceled school?
Yes.
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 Oh.
Mhm.
Smart.
Right.
And I'll be the naysayer. I absolutely love snow.
Well, I
I
kind
like
of have
shoveling
to,
it, and I like playing in it, and I like skiing in it, and you name it.
Driving in it?
Yeah, even that. I've got an all-wheel drive, so that's not too bad, but I don't go
Okay.
that far.
All
I
right.
like snow too. I like looking at it.
Yep.
I like skiing it, but I like driving to it.
All right. Well, I think we're all here, right?
Yep.
7. All right. Well, Elliot will be our acting chair for for this evening until we have elections of a new chair, since he's our standing secretary. So we'll let you take the floor, Elliot, and open us up.
All right, well, just want to start by welcome everybody to our January 6th, 2022 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I am Elliot Hitchcock, Secretary for the Commission and tonight's acting chairman. And before I get right into it, I did want to basically congratulate and welcome Peter Ruse, Ron Bodenson, Carol Snow for their appointments from alternate to full seated members of the commission. And I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then secondly, I'd also like to personally thank Ron Clark, Jim Madison, Joel Miller, Joe Bonofsky, Tom Berlin for their many years of dedicated service to the town of Madison and this commission. I enjoyed fully my time on the commission with all of them and will miss their insight and knowledge.
Here,
I just
here.
wanted to publicly put that out there.
As we all will.
Tonight we have one public hearing scheduled. Just procedure wise, during the public hearing, the applicant will be invited to join as a panelist to present the application, explaining to the commission and others present what is being requested. The applicant or staff will share all application materials on the screen as needed. Comments of town agencies will be read for each application if there are any, and there will be clarifying questions from the commissioners. After that, there will be an opportunity to clarify questions from attendees. If you would, please raise your hand through the Zoom platform and wait to be called on and unmuted. After that, if you wish to support the application, you may come forward. And then those opposing the applications would then also have an opportunity to come forward. As this is a public hearing, it must be recorded. So if necessary, for the speakers to identify themselves each time they speak by stating their name and address. The applicant will then have an opportunity to address any questions, concerns raised by the public or the commissioners. Once the public hearing is closed, the applicant is free to leave or remain on for the balance of the regular meeting, during which the commission will try to reach a decision on each application. Each applicant will be notified in writing as to the decision of this commission and has a right to appeal to Superior Court if desired. Decisions of this meeting are available the next day by calling the land use office after 9 a.m. All actions taken tonight by the commission will be by roll call. All commissioners and staff will identify themselves for the record before speaking. Seated this evening are Giselle McDowell, John Mathers, Dr. Hay, Peter Ruse, Ron Bodenson, Carol Snow, and myself, Elliot Hitchcock. Staff present is Aaron Mannix, the town planner. The meeting is being streamed on YouTube and will be available on the town website for your viewing. The town planner will now read the legal notice for the public hearing.
Sure. Notice is hereby given that the Madison Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing on Thursday, January 6th, 2022 at 7 p.m. The meeting will be conducted remotely as a Zoom online webinar. The public is invited to attend by joining the webinar through either the webinar link or call-in information below with webinar ID 915-8196-6735, password 452138. Further details about how to participate in the webinar are located on the Town of Madison website. Information on the application is available in the Land Use Office, Madison Town Campus, or by calling the town planner at 245-5631. Applications to be heard tonight, application number 21-2473 Wall Street, map 38, lot 69, Downtown District, owners Gene Cowles and Louis Gimbel, applicant Crystal Cowles and Gene Cowles. Special exception permit for change of use of a commercial building to a two-family dwelling per section 6.15.9. Ron Clark, Chair. And
Is there anybody from the applicant to present?
um, to, yes, so in opening the public hearing,
Oh.
I don't believe anyone is here on behalf of the applicant to present this application. Today is the 65-day, the last regularly scheduled meeting, excuse me, for the commission to open a public hearing for this special exception permit. And it would be my recommendation to open this hearing, even though the applicant is not here to present. So if the commission would entertain an motion to open the public hearing, Mr. Chairman, then I can provide a staff report and give some background on the application.
Would somebody like to make a motion to open the public
Motion to
hearing?
open the public hearing.
From Peter,
I'll
seconded,
second.
John Mathers. Public hearing is open.
Okay, so I do have a staff report for you. I can show you initially first, I will share the application documents with you for your reference. This is the special exception permit for 73 Wall Street. Crystal Cowles, again, is the applicant. The project is a request to convert commercial space to residential space. Not to make any of you nauseous, I will just scroll through the application documents to get you to some floor plans here and show you what has been submitted as part of this application. There's a second floor layout here. This is, I believe, the front building on this subject parcel on Wall Street. And the first, these are residential apartment layouts, a 2-bedroom unit on either floor of this front building. The commission would likely recognize this property as the former Paul Leroux jewelry store on the first floor there. Additionally, the applicant has provided, here's a photo of the subject building. She has provided the field cards for the properties. You can see in the back here, there is a detached garage and the additional third building for your records is here at the rear of the parcel. I believe there is a GIS map here to acclimate you with the property is here. It's just a couple blocks down from Bradley, or excuse me, a couple down from Bradley here, parking lot, and this is the building in question. So those are the application documents that were provided to the commission. Apologize, I have one screen to share here. Okay. I've provided a memo to the commission. As you are aware, the applicant is not here this evening. Staff has made multiple attempts to coordinate with the applicant regarding this application through the past 65 days since the application has been submitted to the land use department. The applicant is, I'll read this into the record for this moment. January 6th, 2022, it's a memo to the Planning and Zoning Commission from Aaron Mannix, Town Planner, regarding application number 21-24, 73 Wall Street, map 38, lot 69, Downtown District, owners Gene Cowles and Louis Gimbel, applicant Crystal Cowles and Gene Cowles, special exception permit to change of use of a commercial building to a 2-family dwelling per section 6.15.9. This property is located within the Downtown District Special Exception Area. This commercial property is improved with 3 buildings. Historic records for the property indicate the last permitted use for the rear building was a retail and office, and the last permitted use for the front building was also first floor retail with second floor office. You may recall that the retail use, as I indicated earlier, in the front as the former Paul LaRoe jewelry store. The third structure on the property is a detached garage. Based upon the applicant's request in this application, the front building is 2-family dwelling. There are no records of permits for this conversion, and the request is an after the fact. Section 6.15.9C of the zoning regulations indicates that in addition to the criteria outlined in section 4.4 regarding consideration in granting or denying a special exception permit, the commission shall also have the authority to consider the following in granting or denying a special exception permit for dwelling units other than a single-family detached dwelling unit. 1, the extent to which the proposal will help develop an optimal mix of residential units within the zoning district while maintaining Madison Center as primarily a commercial area. 2, the extent to which the proposal preserves active street-level commercial uses, primarily along Boston Post Road between Wall Street and Route 79 and along Wall Street. At the last commission meeting, a request was made to refer this application to the Economic Development Commission for comments regarding the conversion of a first floor retail space to a residential use. The EDC is scheduled to discuss this matter at their January meeting. In addition to the above criteria, it is important for the commission to note that the applicant has not complied with section 4.25 of the zoning regulations for notice. No sign has been posted on the property, nor has a certificate of mailing been provided to ensure adequate notice to property owners within 150 feet of the subject parcel. The applicant has not provided a site plan per section 4.22 of the zoning regulations. Additionally, the applicant submitted a 19-B100A application to the Health Department in November 2021. This application was rejected by the Health Director on November 4th, 2021. I apologize, this is all crazy scanning here, indicating a change in use cannot be approved at this time. Septic system will need to be upgraded to a 4-bedroom system. The applicant has not provided updated septic design at this time. This evening is the last regularly scheduled meeting that the commission can open the public hearing. The commission has not been granted any extensions by the applicant. Staff recommends proceeding with the public hearing process to allow the applicant an opportunity to present this proposal. Staff comments can be received along with any comments from the public. I do have a draft motion for the commission. However, I can read that at a later portion. It would be staff's recommendation. Well, actually, you have a couple of options here. The applicant has, as I have indicated, staff has reached out to the applicant multiple occasions, indicating that we have a statutory deadline to open the public hearing. However, the application is deficient in several respects. The applicant has responded to staff and indicated that will likely need more time, but has not put much thought into this application at this time. So having not received any additional information from the applicant and seeing that this work has already been completed without permits, it would be my recommendation, as the applicant is not here, to provide you with an extension to allow for any potential comments from the commission and the public, and to move forward and close that public hearing. And I have provided a draft motion for denial of this application.
All right, so at this time, we would basically obviously skip over the portion for the ability to ask questions of the applicant from the public because there is no applicant present.
Correct. You can move to the public, Elliot, and
So
see if
then we
there
would
is
just move
anybody
right to
from the
whether
public.
if there's anybody present that would like to speak in support of it.
I'm not seeing anyone, Elliot, with their hands raised.
And is there anybody in the public that would like to speak against the application?
Again, no hands.
All right. And so the next step would be to, at this point, I guess, would be to make a motion to close the public hearing. Is that correct? Okay,
Yes.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing, Elliot.
Peter,
I'll second.
Dr. Hay. All in favor?
Aye.
Hey,
Opposed? None. So the public hearing is closed. So at this point, it would, we entertain a motion? Or
Yes, you-
listen to your recommendations first regarding
Sure.
that?
I can
I have a
share.
question first.
Go ahead, Ron.
My question is, it looks like we're going to turn this down on the merits. Is there any difference in turning it down on the merits versus something else like throwing it out because it's incomplete? I'm thinking that there may be some rule that if it's turned down on the merits, they can't reapply for a certain period of time or something, but I'm not sure.
In sharing the motion that is drafted, it's specific for the reasons that this application was denied, and that would not prevent the applicant from addressing those and providing a complete application to the commission and exploring feasibility of septic suitability as well for this project. So I think that should be covered in the reasons, Ron, if that's clear.
So if we want to make a motion to deny, can I simply just read this, or do you want to do it, Aaron?
Nope, it would need to be a commissioner to make that motion. Yes.
I'd be happy to read it and make that motion. Motion is voted that the Madison Planning and Zoning Commission deny application 21-24, 73 Wall Street, map 38, lot 69, D District, owners Gene Cowles and Louis Gimbel, applicants Crystal Cowles and Gene Cowles. Special exception permit for change of use of a commercial building to a two-family dwelling per section 6.15.9 for the following reasons. One, the application is incomplete per section 4.22 of the zoning regulations as a site plan has not been provided. Two, the applicant has not complied with section 29.2 subsection P of the zoning regulations, demonstrating the adequacy of the on-site soils to handle the expected sewage effluent. Three, the applicant has not complied with section 4.2.5 of the zoning regulations for notice of a special exception application. No sign was posted on the property in accordance with this section, nor was evidence of notification mailings provided to the land use office prior to the date of hearing. The commission finds that should the applicant seek special exception approval for first floor residential use again in the future, or referral to the Economic Development Commission for comments regarding street level commercial use on the property shall be required. Additionally, as the conversion to residential use has been completed without a certificate of zoning compliance, a zoning violation exists on this property. The effective date of this denial is recommended to be January 21st, 2022.
Motion was made by Peter. We would need a second.
second.
Seconded by Carol Snow. At this point, I get normally discussions at this point, right? Or go right to the vote.
Correct.
Any discussions regarding? You're muted.
We can't hear you, John.
Thank you. So seeing that the property is in violation of zoning right now, what are the repercussions of any tenants that may be residing there?
At this point, it would be our zoning enforcement officer would reach out to the property owner and issue a notice of violation, which our goal would be to have the applicant submit the appropriate information to see if this, if any of the residential uses can be legalized on the property. So it's, I think, a little preliminary to know what the status and the outcome for the tenants would be at this time.
I have just a quick follow-up to John's question, which is, it wasn't clear to me, are both floors in non-compliance or just the first floor?
Yes. Both.
Both floors. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or discussions? At this time, I will take a vote. All in favor
Aye.
of the opposed? Good. Application denied. And then
Thank
that's
you.
it for, so at this point, that's it for public hearings. I
Correct.
think there was one regular or new application.
Yes, that's correct. There are a couple of placeholders here on the agenda to let you know of upcoming public hearings. And your next item where our applicant is present is under new applications, number 21-33, 1324 Boston Post Road. And I will just promote Dave Donahue here, who will be presenting. Hi, Dave, can you hear us?
Hello, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Hey, John. Hey, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight.
You're welcome. I have, Dave, I'm happy to, if you would like to present to the commission what you're looking to share, what you're looking to propose, and I'm happy to share your site plan and application documents. As you're ready.
Well, I'm Dave Donahue from Donahue's Clan Castle at 1324 Boston Post Road, right next to Donahue's. And we have purchased a food truck and have been fixing it up. And the application is for permission to, during the off season of the Clan Castle, which runs from April to mid-October. After mid-October over to April, we would like to utilize the truck to sell a limited menu of chowder, hot dogs, and grilled sandwiches. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I do have electric going to the truck. I've outfitted it. I actually applied for a special application for a fundraiser last month, and just to see if everything would work well, and it went very well. And it's a good truck. The health inspector came on down, Amanda, and she popped in, and everything seems to be good. So what I would do would be to park it by the gazebo, by the present gazebo, and have some sort of sign pointing to it, but just have it on our property. The problem I ran into when I did the fundraisers, I parked it right out front, and I noticed after reviewing the plan site that half the truck was on state property. So that's not going to work very well. So I reconnoitered to bring it more back on the property. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Do you have any questions, or did anybody actually go to the fundraiser that night?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. It was for bare necessities. We raised like $750 for them. It was really quite fun. It was a good time. And it was a great dry run for me to see if it was actually viable. And it was. I was pleased.
Hey,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a quick question for you. What hours were you thinking of running the truck?
It would be during daylight hours mostly, so it would probably be from 12 noon until about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. Thank you.
And it wouldn't be 7 days a week. It'd probably be about 3 or 4 days a week. The beauty of having a food truck is you can kind of make your own hours. But I don't think it would be viable for dinner.
Go ahead, Carol.
Carol Snow, Dave, I may be asking the obvious, but is the Clam Castle not able to stay open year round? And do you turn off water and no heat?
Yes, yes. There's a very small heat system, but there is no heat system in the kitchen of the castle. So so we shut the water off and the gas off, yeah. So it's seasonal that way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was just curious, I saw the map, but where will the truck be vis-a-vis the Clam Castle itself? Clam Shack?
So it would be parked right next to the picnic area, which actually I was looking at 2 different spots, but what I wrote for Aaron on the application was right next to the picnic area because there's electric there and I can plug in there. So it is back from the street a bit. It's actually parked there right now, and you can see a picture of it. I believe Aaron's got a picture of it where it's going to be presently, and it's in that spot right now. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say by the picnic area?
Yeah, I do.
I can share the site plan if that's helpful.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah. It's kind of the
Thank you.
southeast corner of the lot, I would think.
Correct. Thanks,
Right,
John.
this is the post road out here.
Okay, gotcha.
And the existing Clam Castle restaurant and the food truck location is in the back corner here.
Another question, David, from Carol Snow. Do you need any additional signage out on the street to draw attention to it?
I have a permit for a sign that simply says "Open Clam Castle," and yes, I would need a sign if it's going to be there. Now, I wanted to ask if possibly we could move up into a couple of parking spaces that are on our property. That was discussed, and with my brothers, my brothers, Chris said yes, we could run electric to it. You know, if you pull that back up.
You're
So
talking somewhere in here.
So somewhere in here, exactly where you're at. That's exactly correct. So we were wondering if there was any flexibility in that. It might be better in that position, so that it could be seen a little bit clearer from the post road.
Mhm.
My question is, when you say run electricity, is that just a cord along the wet ground, or what do you mean?
Well, I would probably talk to Peter Lemley and bury a line from the Clam Castle across the parking lot and make a plug-in on the right side. In other words, right on where the signs were for where we used to have the parking signs. So that was a thought. Wondered about the possibility of that.
Aaron, why is the truck in the back? What's the regulation that puts it in the back?
Well, initially Dave was hoping to park in front of the building, which is within the state right of way. And so I think that was sort of a compromise there where he was close to electric source to be able to plug in.
Correct.
In the back, and that's where that back corner had come from. I think the only concern that you may have, depending on if you're looking to bury a electric trench would be, you do have septic in the area as well.
Oh, you're right. Mhm,
So
right.
you're gonna want to look where you're ripping up and running
Mhm,
conduit.
absolutely.
And I think before you do any other permanent improvements to the site with respect to electric, I think the commission should explore whether or not they're looking to approve this type of use on a temporary basis
Mhm.
for a trial. I know I've discussed this with Dave also, that it would be staff's recommendation to, if the commission is agreeable to allow a food truck on the property, to allow this for a short term to determine the viability of your food truck business, and then perhaps explore some of the other options that are available through the mobile truck ordinance in town, such as parking at the academy streets or school streets on a more regular basis during the off season, as opposed to the parking lot here.
Right. Oh, makes sense.
This is Shona. Hey, just one other quick question. I'm assuming that since you're plugging it in, the engine's not running, there's, it's not generating exhaust.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And Dave, clarify, you will not be blocking the drive aisle, as the truck would fit within a parking space?
That's
So
correct.
you'll still have the circulation of traffic through the site?
Yes, that's correct. The way it is now on that plan it absolutely allows for traffic flow.
I had one question. Would the pavilion be utilized for seating, or is this basically grab and go?
It's basically grab and go in the winter time because of the
Temperatures.
temperatures. The
But it is
picnic
nice warm
tables.
chowder, though.
Yeah, that's true. And the tables are there. I actually had a couple of people grab takeout from Donahue's and go over and sit there just the other day. So, I mean, the tables are there and available. I wouldn't be opposed to people making themselves comfortable there, but I don't see it, being crowded or anything like that.
Dave, John Mathers, of course.
Hey, John.
You mentioned that you'd probably be open 3-4 days a week. Do you have plans to go mobile with the truck? Would you take it to, people rent it for the event, or can you take it to other locations?
It would be one step at a time. So for now, and for this particular season, my plan was just to keep it there.
Okay. And I have another question for Aaron, I suppose. Aaron, is there what is the downside to granting a permanent approval on this as opposed to temporary? I mean, I understand that we wanted to consider it temporary so Dave could check the viability of the business and so forth, but do we have concerns about a food truck being there for more than a season?
Well, I think the question could be raised as there's an existing restaurant on the property. If you're looking to extend the season of the restaurant to a year round, have you explored other options of perhaps the existing building as opposed to shutting the building down for the off season and working out of a mobile truck? Are there options for converting the existing structure into a year-round restaurant?
Do we?
But as the owner, I'm sorry, Carol.
That's okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, but as the owner of the truck, is also the owner of the property and the owner of the business, wouldn't that be his decision as to whether to invest in the structure or to operate a truck?
Well, I think ultimately it's the commission's decision to determine if you'd like to see this mobile food truck use on a private property. As I said, the the mobile food ordinance does allow for a variety of options, the third of which is on private property with the approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission. So there are some limitation, the town has established the area within Academy and School Streets for approved long-term or longer term, I should say, for several hours of food sales. And then there are some limitations on sales within the right of way, I think limiting, by the hour, for a particular location, more so that it's not someone just parking on the side of the road for a longer term. So ultimately, the discretion does lie within this commission.
I'd like to raise another issue, Aaron, and that is, I think it would be great if we can encourage the use of existing food truck locations. However, there is the possibility that Academy School might be under construction in the coming years. So, if we, like, I do like the idea of giving a temporary permission and then seeing what the bigger picture looks like in a year or two. Does that make sense? I know I'm being very farsighted here, but
Sure. I mean, clearly,
we still have a referendum to get through next month, but I'm just thinking in terms of practical issues and where food trucks will go, maybe we'll just shift where they go if needed.
that would likely have to be a conversation through, yes, with the police department and the Board of Selectmen as far as any other alternative locations should construction begin there.
Impact that. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Sure.
Aaron, I have a question. He's indicated he thinks till 5 o'clock, but do our regulations allow him to keep it open till midnight, or what are the rules regarding?
You could limit the hours of operation. Are there, so there's not a generator use or a noise,
No.
an impact. It's not a live entertainment establishment, anything like that. So it's probably a fairly quiet activity. But I think if the applicant, if Dave is providing you with hours that he's looking to do, you could absolutely incorporate those as a condition if you'd like. And you don't have to. You could leave it just for regular business hours.
Yeah, I wouldn't see this as a nighttime event, but as spring comes, it gets darker later, maybe like a half hour after sunset or something like that. I know that's a moving target, but he may want it open later in April than he does in February.
Dave, I actually have one more question for you. What is the normal operating months for the Clam Castle?
It's mid-April to mid-October.
Thank you. And this food truck would obviously not be used during those periods at all. It would only be when the restaurant is actually closed.
That's correct. Now, I will be going to the health department to get a permit for the truck. Amanda said I needed to do that, which is fine. So depending on how things go this winter, I mean, initially I'm just going to store it. But if it is permitted, fully permitted, then as John mentioned, if there was a private event that, I would, want to cater, then I would consider that.
You mean like off premises or on premises?
Off premises,
Oh, okay. So then it really doesn't come into play.
correct.
And one final thing, I think the temptation would be to put out balloons and live bodies and all kinds of things at Route 1 to
No.
Let people know you got a truck. You're saying you're just gonna have the open sign, right?
Yeah, no, I'm only permitted for the open sign. I'm not into balloons or anything like that. I did mention to Aaron that I looked across the street at the Dunkin' Donuts flag and thought that was kind of fun, but I don't think we're gonna do that. Right, Aaron?
I'll let John know that the flags across the street.
Okay.
No feather flags, please.
No feather flags. All right. Okay. That's all right. I think that, our reputation has grown over the years. We've really been very lucky. It's really been a wonderful season. This is our 7th season now, and we've just been getting busier and busier every year. And so we have a good reputation. And I think, with our Instagram presence, I think we'll be able to build a little,
Okay.
clientele. So, thank you.
Good.
Is there any other questions at this point? And Aaron, you said you had a condition of approval that was
I do
correct,
have
or-
a draft resolution. I don't know if, do you want me to share that up on the screen, or does somebody have it up? Would like to read it?
Would you like me to read it again? I'm happy to be the reader again.
To make a motion? Sure. And I
Yes,
think,
I will make a motion. Excuse me, voted that the Madison Planning and Zoning Commission approve application 21-33 1324 Boston Post Road, map 31, lot 43, C District, owner 1324 LLC, applicant Fluffy Brothers LLC, application for site plan review to operate a food truck on restaurant property during off-season with the following conditions. 1, that the truck be permitted to park and operate on the property as shown on the submitted application documents and site plan until May 30th, 2022. 2, future parking or operation of the food truck on the subject premises after May 30th, 2022 requires Planning and Zoning Commission approval. And the effective date of this approval is January 21st, 2022.
Can I make one suggestion on that? The approval states May 30th, where he actually just said they operate from mid-April.
Oh, true.
That-
Yeah,
That's-
I would be shutting it down mid-April. So if you want to adjust that, that's fine with me.
Aaron, can I just adjust the motion then?
Peter, you can modify your motion and have it seconded. Yes.
Okay, I'd like to modify the motion, item 1, that the food truck be permitted to permit and park and operate on the property as shown on the submitted application documents and site plan until April 30th, 2022. And then the second one would be future parking or operation of the food truck on the subject premises after April 30th, 2022 requires Planning and Zoning Commission approval.
Peter, would you consider a time limit of 6 PM? So we're not caught in a situation where for some reason it's open at 10 at night.
Sure.
Sure.
I think that comports with the applicant's statement.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just thinking about how to amend it.
Maybe amend it to say operate between the hours of.
Yes.
11 AM and 6 PM. Dave, does that make sense?
So let me
fine.
modify number 1 again. That the food truck be permitted to park and operate on the property as shown on the submitted application documents and site plan until April 30th, 2022 from the hours daily of 11 AM to 6 PM. Does that work?
Works for me. Thank you.
Well,
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by John Mathers. Any discussions? Seeing none, hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Application is approved. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And good
luck.
I
Good luck, David.
appreciate it.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, Dave.
thank you.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So I guess that's it for items on the agenda. The next item would be the election of officers. And is there a particular order I should go in from top to bottom or secretary up, or what's the recommendation on that?
I guess it
I forgot
depends
to
how
ask
long
that earlier.
you'd like to chair the meeting for, Elliot. You're welcome to
Made it this
appoint
far,
a
so I
chair.
guess it, I mean, it doesn't matter to me either way.
Yeah, well, Aaron, I have a question for you. If I wanted to make a suggestion as to how we proceed, when would I squeeze that in?
I think you can go ahead and, this is a discussion, and then as we have kind of established, the commission members, if you would like to nominate someone or yourself, then I think Elliot can kind of set that point, and we
Okay.
can move from there and see if anyone's agreeable to that nomination.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make this a sort of a covering comment, and for what it's worth, I guess a lot has transpired in the last couple of weeks, and the committee clearly is in a bit of a state of flux right now. I think we'd all agree to that. And we've lost a great deal of experience on the committee, and we are now down 2 permanent members and 3 alternates. And I think we owe it to ourselves, frankly, to get those positions filled as soon as possible, and also to elect a chair and a vice chair and a secretary with terms to expire next January of 2023, so 1 year. The charter says not to exceed 2 years, but I think this gives the commission a year to work together, to gain another year of experience, and who knows what qualifications and interests we might get from those 5 candidates of the to be filled positions still. So I think keeping the term of the officers 1 year versus 2 is probably to the commission's advantage. And that's all I wanted to say.
I want to agree with Peter and Aaron. I think none of us really know when those vacancies would be filled, but once they are filled, I think that it shouldn't be a long time to appoint the officers. I think it's a good idea to have that opportunity sooner rather than later.
Well, the only thought I had is it's not like we're going to have 5 more people who could serve as officers. The alternates could not. So nor could they even vote. So I think
no, but they bring experience though to the committee. I mean, we may get people that move into town that want to be alternates that bring things to the table that are for the benefit of the entire committee. I mean, 3 of us were doing that, right?
But are you proposing that we elect officers tonight, but they're only for 1 year to accomplish that? Or are you proposing not to elect officers for some distant time in the future? And then
no, okay. I'm suggesting we elect 3 officers tonight and those terms run for 1 year.
Okay, yeah, that I'm with you. And I might point out that the ordinance that I read said only secretary and chair. I don't care if we have a vice or not. I'm not sure the vice ever served any role, but I'm not sure it would violate anything. But I'm just saying we don't have to if we don't want to.
The vice chair in the past has always stepped up to basically run meetings in the event that the chair is not present.
All right.
Which Jim Madison on several occasions did have to run meetings when Chairman Clark was away.
Clearly,
that was my question.
I was going to say a secretary could run the meeting too. I'm not against a vice chair, but our secretary's done a wonderful job of running the meeting tonight. So.
Not one of my favorite things to
do. We conned you into it.
Yeah. So is everybody pretty much in agreement with the 1 year term?
Giselle, did you have a question?
I think Elliot answered it regarding the vice chair, the purpose of that position.
And I might take one exception, Aaron. I don't think it'll be an issue tonight, but you indicated that the quorum is 7, the majority is 4. But for some reason you stated it took 5 to elect a an officer. And I think
Correct.
that's not what the Robert rules say. The Robert rules say that once,
I believe it's in the charter or the ordinance.
I'd be curious if it were. If you found it in there, I accept it. If you're just guessing, I guess I wouldn't.
Yes, I believe it did take a majority for elections. There was question raised by the commission as to the number of members and what was considered a quorum at this point, and with 7 seated members for our quorum. And so that's.
But under Robert's rules, once you have a quorum, then the actual verbatim, the majority vote is more than half the votes cast by those present and voting once you have a quorum. So that would be 4, not 5. I don't, unless the ordinance says there's a super majority, then it may not be an issue, but I just don't want us to be thinking it's some number that isn't in Robert's rules, but it may be in the ordinance, but I didn't see it.
So I will, I will check that right now. If the commission wanted to.
It may not be an issue.
Right,
We'll see if
well,
it's an
exactly.
issue.
So if you wanted to move through and you were all in
Yeah.
agreement
Yeah.
on your nominations, then it's a moot point. But I will look into that as you're discussing your nominations now, so I
Okay.
can answer that question for you.
But then Elliot, I'm ready to make a nomination. Let's go. I say start with president, so you don't have to work as hard all evening. And I would nominate Carol Snow for chairman.
And then these nominations, we do not require a second, correct?
I do not.
Is there any other nominations? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Oh, I was for opposed. John?
No,
That's frozen.
I was in favor.
Okay, there was a little bit of a delay there. Just to clarify again, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? None. Abstained? None. Carol, congratulations. You're the new chair.
Everyone.
Now the
Congratulations.
meeting's on you, Carol.
Thank
Good luck.
Okay, so I guess next then, let's do vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Peter Bruce.
All in favor? Should we jump right into a vote?
Is Peter agreeable?
Oh.
Peter,
That would be the first.
Yes, I would be happy to serve.
great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations, Peter Roos.
He's in charge of vice.
Congratulations, Peter.
Charge of
Nice.
vice, that's right.
That's great. And Secretary Elliott, I believe you've agreed. Do we need to do a formal nomination?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
I
so
nominate Elliot.
excellent.
Thank you.
Anyone else? And a vote?
Nobody else
All in
wants it?
favor? All in favor of Elliott being secretary?
Aye.
Nice
Aye.
job, Elliott. Thank you.
Way to go, Elliot.
Would it be okay to be opposed
No, it's too
on
late.
the vote?
Do we
think
need
you're
a
in.
sergeant at arms too, maybe?
Thank you.
Okay, so I see the next thing on the agenda then as approval of meetings. So I'm going to hand it right back over to you, Elliott.
Excuse me,
Oh,
Madam
no,
Chair.
there's actually
Thank
one
you.
other item.
We do have one other appointment that the commission should
Oh.
discuss to the ad hoc marijuana advisory committee, as Joe Bonofsky was the appointed commissioner to serve on that committee, which has not started meeting yet, so no one has missed anything. But we do need a new volunteer, if anyone is
Anyone
interested.
willing to
serving.
step up?
I'm willing to.
Oh, great.
Great.
Oh,
Giselle, thanks.
Thank you, Giselle.
do we vote, or is that a done deal?
Sure, you could vote if you'd like.
All in favor of Giselle? Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron, for pointing that out. I was jumping ahead to approval of minutes. So we have December 16th, 2021. Elliot, over to you again.
Yep, I have a set of minutes from our regular meeting on December 16th, 2021. Members present were Clark, Madison, Hitchcock, McDowell, Miller, Hay, and Berlin. Alternates present, Snow, and Ruse. We'll entertain a motion.
I'll
Motion to
move
approve.
the minutes.
Motion to approve by Dr. Hay, seconded by Peter Ruse. Any discussions or changes? Seeing none, all in favor? Say
Aye.
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 Opposed? None? Abstained?
Same.
John Mathers abstained. Minutes were approved. And then I have a set of minutes from our special meeting on December 21st, 2021. Members present, Clark, Madison, Hitchcock, McDowell, Miller, Panofsky, Hay, and Berlin. Alternates present, Bodenson, Snow, and Ruse. Would like a motion on these minutes.
Motion to approve.
Giselle, seconded by Peter. Any discussions or changes? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Same.
John Mathers. Minutes are approved.
Thank you, everyone. Next on the agenda are remarks from the commission chair. That would be me. And I just want to take a moment to also acknowledge all the impressive work of our predecessors. And I won't pretend that I'll fill the shoes of Ron Clark. That's impossible. And, I think he was an inspiration to all of us, and especially to me in my short term so far. So I will endeavor to do all the catch-up work that's needed as the new chair, and will appreciate everyone's support and patience with me as we go through this transition. And if anyone else would like to speak, I'd love to hear any other additional comments. If there are none, then Aaron, you have-
I'll just briefly say thank you all for your willingness to serve and for stepping up and accepting this responsibility. It's an important commission. As we all know, it's not always a popular role to fill, and we have to make a tough decisions sometimes. And we deal with some pretty hotly contested and emotionally charged topics. And I appreciate everyone for their level-headedness and for their willingness to persevere.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
I have one other item in my opening statements where I was welcoming everybody that was newly seated. I did forget to mention Raquel Stubbs, who is our new clerk. And we'd just like to welcome her also.
Yes,
Welcome.
we look
Thank
forward.
you.
Look forward to working.
Thank you.
Thanks, Raquel.
No problem. Thank you.
I have, if I could take one moment to update the commission on correspondence that was received in the land use office. It came in the form of an application pursuant to Public Act 87-280 and Connecticut General Statutes 7-149A. As a request for the Planning and Zoning Commission to designate a local road as a scenic road. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It is staff's opinion that under these enabling language, it does provide an opportunity for the municipality to establish through an ordinance, a mechanism for designating local roads as scenic roads. And that also allows for an opportunity for the Planning and Zoning Commission to be that authority in the process. However, the town of Madison does not have such ordinance. So it is of my opinion that this application, there is no ability for the Planning and Zoning Commission to process such application in town. So I just wanted to let you know this was regarding Mill Road and River Road and a portion of the Boston Post Road. It was also referred to the Inland Wetlands Commission and requesting that the Inland Wetlands Commission delay any action of pending development application on Cottage Road, pending the review by both the state and local authorities for this scenic road designation. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It's not on the agenda as an application, just for the reasons I've stated earlier. But I am in discussions with our land use attorney to provide a response to the applicant. Just
So
so you're
Erin,
aware.
this would impact our pending application for the 168 to 178 Cottage Road then?
No,
Okay.
no, it's in nowhere near the vicinity.
And what
It's on the
process-
other end of Cottage Road.
Oh,
It's
okay.
an application that's pending before the Inland Wetlands Commission at number 35 Cottage, I believe it is.
Okay. And is there a process in place for scenic road designation?
There is through the statutes for state highways.
Yeah.
And the town of Madison has two areas in town, one along Route 80 designated as a scenic highway, as well as a portion of the Post Road.
Route 1, yeah.
But it is, from my initial research, we do not have any enabling language for the designation of local roads as scenic roads.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Good to know.
That's all I had. Thank you.
I was just going to throw one more thing out. I know we can't talk about, but I see in the press that 92 Scotland's been appealed.
I saw that, or they're planning to. I don't know if they've
Yeah.
actually done it, Peter. Yeah.
I
Something that
have not
CT
received
examiner.
any summons at this point.
I
Okay.
think I saw that they don't feel it's financially feasible with 5 units was what I read.
And I would recommend that the commission not have further discussion on any potential pending litigation in this particular forum.
On that note, shall we adjourn?
I so move.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good
Good
night.
night.